Christopher Krebs ran the main cybersecurity agency in the federal government during the Trump administration. He was fired from that job after the election for having the temerity to contradict President Trump's lies about supposed fraud in that election. He joins us now as we continue the interview. Mr. Krebs, I just have to ask if you, given that experience, if you're surprised this is still such a live issue. Did you know that this would continue to grow and sort of metastasize and start eating of the Republican Party, at least the way it is now? Or did you think this is something that we'd sort of had to get through, but then it would be over?
Well, I don't think I necessarily anticipated it or expected it to get to the degree that, it in fact did today with Representative Cheney losing her leadership spot. And, that's really the only casualty, apparently, of January 6th and the big lie. But we did anticipate, going back several years, the calling of the rigged election. This really, the seeds for this were laid prior to the 2016 election, and then it started to bubble up about this time last year as well, when the former president was talking about mail-in ballots and how that would lead to a rigged election. While we were focusing on the actual technical security of the voting machines and the resilience of the systems, including supporting the rollout of more paper ballots across the country, we were also gravely concerned about the rise of disinformation, not just from foreign actors, but as it turned out, domestic actors. And disinformation is just one of the realities of, unfortunately, of life right now. And we're taking a hard look at that over at the Aspen Institute and the commission that I'm co-chairing. But this is just the natural evolution of the big lie, and it appears to be taking pretty deep root, particularly in the House of Representatives. And we're going to have to come to grips with this one way or the other. This democracy that we all enjoy and that we love is at serious risk.
Do you feel like you know what the cure is for it? I felt like when you were at CISA, leading that agency, putting out public statements around the election, it felt like you were pretty focused and had a pretty clear idea about what kinds of messages, what kinds of facts, what kinds of arguments that you could make about the sanctity of the election that you felt would resonate with people. Did that give you any insight into how to sort of break this fever in the Republican Party?
So here's the challenge, Rachel, is that you were living in a different world, a different reality than I think some of the supporters and followers of the former president. You add the fact of the asymmetric nature of his platform at the time. We at CISA may have been putting out accurate, factual information for the American voters to study, to digest. But ultimately, we were talking about, I had 10,000 followers on Twitter. The agency had about 150,000. That's stacked up against someone with 89 million. So there is just an asymmetric threat there, frankly, that we couldn't overcome. And ultimately, it comes down to what's really developed is two different realities. It's the one we live in that's based on truth and trust, and the other that's based on whatever the former president says. And so how do we get past this? Something that's never going to happen. Unfortunately, I think it all begins with the former president admitting that it was an election that he lost. He lost it fair and square, and that Joe Biden is, in fact, the duly elected president of the United States of America.
Chris Krebs, former director of CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. I have a lot more to talk to you about over time. Maybe some of it we'll do trout fishing at some point. It's nice to have you here tonight.
There you go. Thanks so much.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.